Hey, this is Brad, and I'm going to talk to you real quick about my bow setup for the year, in case any of you find that moderately interesting, so you kind of know like what I'm using and why I am using it. So first, just to get started, this is a Matthews Lift 33. I kind of like that 33-inch axle to axle length. It's long enough that I get nice stability for most of my hunting, whether it's kind of in the mountains and it's kind of windy, get the nice stability, but it's also short enough that if I'm in a shooting out of a tree stand, which I don't do a lot of, I can still use it out of a tree stand and not worry about my bottom cam interfering or hitting my leg or anything like that. These bows have been great. I shot a Phase 4 last year. Really like the way it works. I like the way these things tune. They're simple to use. They hold their position really well. Smooth, quiet, everything. Can't say enough good things about it. Let's talk real quick about my rest. So this is a Vapor Trail. This is the GI8X. I really like Vapor Trail rests. They're super simple. My whole philosophy around equipment is really geared around simplicity and removing potential points of failure. That's why I like this rest setup a lot. I really like the pick rail on these Matthews bows that allows that rest to mount to the pick rail, because that way you don't have to worry about your rest being level. It just mounts to the pick rail and you know it's dead level. And one other big improvement they made on this rest over last year, there used to be a knob that came out from the side here, and that would interfere with the arrows on my quiver here. As you can see, the arrows are pretty tight up against the rest. They took care of that problem, so now you don't have that issue. There's just not a lot of moving parts in these rests. It's a limb-driven rest. I really believe limb-driven rests are great. If you're not using one, I highly recommend you check them out. But it's a simple rest. It works. I've had literally zero issues with all my Vapor Trail rests over the years, and I really like this model right here as well. For a sight, this is the Spot Hogg Fast Eddy XL. I like the XL version, which has the you can mount inside the riser of the bow here. For me, when I travel, it's really handy. I can take this sight off. I can mark which hole it goes into, and I can put it back on, and it always goes right back to where it goes to. And I do travel a fair bit on airlines with my bow, and so I like having this sight set up for that. These things are just bricks. They're heavy. They're heavy duty. They're not heavy, super heavy, but they're really reliable. They work really well. I like the fact you don't have the Allen keys to make any windage or elevation adjustments. And I run a 5-pin slider. For me, that's just like a great setup for being able to have a lot of variation in terms of range really quick. So if an animal, is at 40 yards and all of a sudden it's at 55 yards or even 60 yards, like I don't have to dial my sight. I can make a shot right away. So 5-pin slider, Spot Hogg, really like that setup. For my, I'm using this Matthews quiver here. I like how tight it runs up against the bow here. Kind of keeps a nice compact setup. And for arrows, I'm running these, let me set my bow down, these Day 6 HD 300s. I have a 28.5-inch draw length. And with the Day 6, I think these are Evo 2-blade bleeder broadheads. I'm right around 515 grains or so for my arrows. Love these broadheads, love these arrows. These things are built like tanks. Super strong carbons, the way the collar, the insert goes on these arrows, it just forms a really strong head. I can reuse these arrows a lot, and this one even has some dirt on it. I shot an animal with this exact arrow last year, and it's back in my quiver. Importantly too, like I don't change my arrows depending on the animal I'm hunting. I know some people do that. I've never done that. I try and keep my setup simple and consistent. So I shoot the same arrows, and whether or not I'm shooting elk, blacktail, axis deer, whitetails, it doesn't matter. Same arrow, same setup, all season. And that way I don't have to like fuss with my pin gaps. I don't have to re-sight in my sight tape for my bow. It's just consistent all the time. So that's my bow set up for 2024. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below or a question below if you have one.